Welcome to Everyday Linux User. In today's video, I am going to be showing you how to dual boot Windows and Linux Lite. To start off with, open a web browser and go to linuxliteos.com. That's spelled linuxliteos.com. And then from the menu, click on the download link and then the download link from that submenu. An advert will appear. Just click on the cross on the advert and that will take you on to the next stage. As you can see, Linux Lite is based on Ubuntu 22.04.2, which is a long-term support release. And here there is some comparisons between Linux Lite and Windows 11. You can see that Windows requires 4 GB of RAM, whereas Linux Lite requires 768. Windows requires 64 GB storage. Linux Lite requires 8. System requirements for firmware are the same. Although Linux Lite is legacy compatible. Scroll to the bottom of the page and you'll see a download link. There's a download 64-bit link and there's a torrent link if you've got a torrent client on your machine. If you haven't got a torrent client, just click the download 64-bit link. The download will now start in the bottom left-hand corner. It's quite a slow download, so you can go away and we'll start on the next bit, which is to partition your hard drive. Click on the Windows Start button and then search for Create and Format Hard Drive Partitions and then click on the link that appears. This will take you into the Disk Management tool. You'll see that I have 2 drives available, but I'm going to do this as if I've got a 1-drive system. So you see the area that says Windows and it's 118 gigabytes. We're going to click on the Windows partition, we're going to right click and we're going to choose Shrink Volume. You can enter any amount up to the size available in the size of available shrink space in MB. For this tutorial, I'm going to do 30 gigabytes, which is 30,000, but don't go over the amount available. In fact, I doubt it would let you, but if you did, it would ruin your Windows partition. So stick below the amount that it says is available. The minimum you'll need is probably 20 to 30 gig really, although the Linux Lite website says 8 gigabytes. You will now see an area of unallocated space, and this is where we will be installing Linux Lite. The next step is to download and install Etcher. This is a tool that creates the USB drive with Linux Lite on it. Open a web browser and type in etcher.io. That's etcher.io. Click on the Download Etcher button and then click on the download link next to the operating system that you are using. For Windows, it would be the Windows installer download that you want to click on. When the download is finished, click on the executable in the bottom left-hand corner, or go to your downloads folder and double-click on the Balena Etcher application that's downloaded. Click I agree to accept the license agreement, and Balena Etcher will install to your computer. The Etcher application should start automatically, but if not, you might have to find it from the Start menu within Windows. Once Linux Lite has finished installing, within Balena Etcher, click Flash from File, and then from the Downloads folder, choose the Linux Lite ISO image. Make sure you've inserted a blank USB drive into your computer, and then click Select Target and choose that USB drive. Finally, click Flash, and the Linux Lite ISO image will be installed onto the USB drive. This process can take 15 minutes or so you can go and do something else while this is taking place. Once Linux Lite is installed to the USB drive, you'll see the words Flash completed. At this point, you can close the Balena Etcher and you can reboot your computer. When the computer restarts, press the relevant function key to bring up the boot menu. On my machine it's F7, but it differs from manufacturer to manufacturer. From the menu that comes up, select the USB drive. In my case, it's the SanDisk Cruiser. When the Linux Lite menu appears, choose the first option to boot into Linux Lite Live System. From the Linux Lite welcome screen, click the Install Now button. Choose your installation language and then click Continue. Choose your keyboard layout, in my case English UK, and the layout, and then click Continue. You can now choose whether to download updates and install third-party software. I'm going to say yes to both of these and click Continue. This is the point you can choose whether you want to install Linux Lite alongside Windows or whether you want to install it as a sole operating system. This is a dual boot guide, so choose the first option and then click Install Now. A window will appear telling you which partitions are going to be created. This is the point of no return. If you don't want to continue, click Go Back Now. Otherwise, click Continue and Linux Lite will start to install. Choose your time zone by clicking on the map and then click Continue. You can now create a user. Enter your name into the Your Name box, give your computer a name, pick a username, choose a password and then repeat the password. You can also choose whether to log in automatically or whether you want to require a user to enter the password to log in. Click Continue when you've finished. Linux Lite will now install itself to your computer. You can take a break at this point because the process takes about 15 to 20 minutes. When the installation is finished, you can click the Restart Now button, and when the computer reboots, you can remove the USB drive. When you reboot, your computer might boot into Windows 11 again. What you need to do is restart your computer and press the function key to get into the BIOS setup. This differs from computer to computer. In my case, it's the escape key, but yours may be different. The BIOSes differ from manufacturer to manufacturer. Go to the boot menu though, and as you can see in my case, I had to scroll right to the bottom for the UEFI boot settings. Now you have to change the boot order. In my case, all I had to do is click where it said Windows Boot Manager and then choose Ubuntu. Finally, I had to press F4 to save the settings and exit the BIOS. A grub menu appears and you can choose between Ubuntu and Windows. When you choose Ubuntu, it's actually Linux Lite. Eventually, you will get to a login screen. Just type in your password and click Login. You should now boot into Linux Lite. And that is the end of the video. If you liked it, give it a thumbs up, hit the subscribe button, and see you next time on Everyday Linux User.